Swear to God.
Right.
It's bad.
How rare is pair bonding for women and surrendering? You asked this?
No.
Oh, it's a very deep question here. Well, no,
asked
it's a
this.
good question. Okay. How rare is pair bonding for women and surrendering? I would argue in today's day and age, it's pretty difficult, man. It's pretty difficult. Most women, unfortunately, as you guys could see from the conversation, which is why I was kind of letting it play out.
A host.
What was I going to say? Well, you could say that.
Yeah,
but I was going to say they have feminist tendencies where, like, they don't want to submit to a man. They think that, their opinion matters more than a man's. They don't want to listen to a man. And there's a rebellion against male authority in today's society. And a guy's got to be, like, highly exceptional to get a woman to just comply a little bit, which, it kind of sucks because if you go back, wasn't it 2025 now? You go back to 1955, a guy can have a factory job making, $10,000 a year and be able to take care of a family and have a woman that's submissive and not a whore. But nowadays, you make $500K per year, you can't even find that stuff.
Yeah, it's like never enough. And I feel like women are making men feel like they're not worthy enough of a relationship or marriage. So I feel like women are doing a lot today to create chaos in the dating world.
Well, I think I don't want to blame it all on feminism, but feminism was a big part of the reason why, because the problem is that average women no longer want average men. It's like average women are like, well, I make $50K per year, so I'd want a guy that makes $100K per year.
That's
so like they don't want to settle. They feel like they can always do better. Yeah. But the problem is that there's not enough of these men to go around. So like if you do find this guy, he's gonna have multiple girlfriends 9 out of 10 times. He's not gonna be monogamous. And that's where women have the problem. Like you said yourself, your guys cheated on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were they higher status guys?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, some were, obviously. Some were like very up there.
Well, average guys are gonna cheat too. I mean, they're not innocent either. They just can't get away with it as
Shelly,
much.
I'll be honest. Most guys are gonna cheat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's normal.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here, but yeah, I would say it's a problem.
Dan, you wouldn't cheat, right?
I cheated once, but
how dare you? Dan?
Once
you cheated on a girl?
How dare
I
you?
admitted it, and it turned out that she was guilty, and also there was a lot of traveling going on, and yeah.
Did you break up with her?
Yeah.
But did you feel guilty?
Nice. I did. That's why I said it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not
Question: did she accept your apology when you said you cheated on her?
At first, yeah, but
she accepted
the relationship fell apart.
Of course, but like you didn't accept hers, but she accepted yours.
I accepted hers considering she accepted mine. Yeah, she told me later, actually, is what happened. Because she went, it was kind of a crazy story.
Whoa.
But do you think she cheated first and then she hid it from you? Or do you think it was like a tit for tat type of thing?
I don't know, to be honest, because it was a long distance relationship. It's really hard to say.
Oh, yeah, she fucked the guys, yeah. She did.
Fair enough.
And again, she for the streets, nigga.
Yeah. Well, going back to the betrayal question, I think when a woman betrays you, it's over.
Yeah.
Because it's not in a woman's nature to be promiscuous. It's just not. Like even a girl that might, because you gave the example before, what if she dances but she doesn't fuck people? Yeah, I mean, there's girls that do, very rare, that do sex work that might not necessarily be promiscuous.
Rare.
Even though their job, it's extremely rare.
Yeah, right.
But the reality is, when a woman is promiscuous or she cheats on you, it's not in their nature to do that. Like, it's in man's nature to be promiscuous, but it's not in a woman's nature. So if a girl cheats on you, there's other problems there, like big problems.
She had to think about it.
Yes.
I know what you mean. It's like saturating in her brain.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, for example, what's worse? Ted Bundy or someone who kills someone accidentally during a DUI? Ted Bundy, right? He's stalking a girl. He's looking for her.
It's meditated.
Hits over the head with a crowbar while faking that he has a fucking cast on his arm. This is how he used to get his women, by the way. He'd go for dark-haired girls. In other words, it's premeditated. Versus, the guy that, gets in a DUI and accidentally kills someone. He didn't mean that. It just happened. So that's what women like. When women cheat, it's like premeditated murder. Way worse versus
also,
manslaughter.
If you love your man, would you cheat on him? Like, truly, really, truly? No, right?
No.
I mean, you're in a loving relationship, marriage. Like, could you even fathom like cheating on your husband?
No.
No, right? Like, it's like other men are like invisible to them. You know what I mean? Versus like for men, no offense, your guy probably still looks at other women. He might not cheat on them.
Yeah.
But like for us, like women are always we notice every girl that walks by.
Yeah.
Versus women don't know if they're with a guy that they like, they don't notice any guy that
Invisible.
walks by. It's literally
People
invisible.
look good, but like to them it's like nah.
Yeah,
I don't
it's like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like women are completely different.
Well, maybe not you, but yeah.
Bro, it's out of nowhere, bro. He just took a shot at her, man.
Serious, man. Come on, man.
What'd you see at the club, bro?
Yeah, let's hear it.
She belongs to the streets.
What'd you see, man? Like,
Well, I'm not
start
gonna lie.
fresh, man.
I'm not gonna lie. She wasn't the worst because it was work.
She said she fucked 6'9". I don't believe it though. I think she capped. I think everything she says is capped. But
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know. But
Didn't you go to back to 6ix9ine's house too
Hold
that
on.
night?
they were very touchy. Yo, this nigga. Yeah, I'm not talking. Yo, come on, man. We gonna put me this shit, man. Like, yo, I got secrets, bro. Bam, I got secrets.
Nigga, we're on Rumble. She don't care. She telling you, say it.
Okay. If I'm gonna be honest, he probably did smash.
Haha.
I don't care. I'm just.
But I'll be honest with you, bro. That's not a flex, nigga.
Yeah, I was.
He fucked anything
No.
wrong.
Yeah.
6ix9ine. Never mind.
He fucked anything wrong, nigga. So that's L for you, nigga. You fuck stupid.
Dan, do you have anything to say about pair bonding
Yo.
and how it affects today's society?
It's funny you use the term pair bonding. That's the scientific term for it. Definitely, it's a lot rarer these days. No doubt about that. I personally wondered what were the actual conditions that people pair bond. It's a miracle if like all this works out.
It's like, how do you know, right?
I just
It's like pheromones and just.
Yeah, I tried to look it up. I was like, okay, how does this actually happen between two people?
Dan, in your opinion, on this panel right here, who could actually pair bond with their partner long term? What do you think?
Well, the most likely people, according to science, are the ones who have the women's ability to pair bond goes down drastically after more and more partners. I mean, that's just science.
So keeping it real, who actually could pair bond on this panel?
And
don't lie,
age,
nigga.
too.
Don't lie.
Come on, damn, man. And age too, man.
Well, there's a few of them with low body counts, actually.
Who?
So,
Who?
Tell me.
I don't remember their body count. I know Savannah has like 2, and then who else has like?
Hey, man, I respect Dan for being nice, bro.
Yo,
So polite, man.
Yo, Dad's like, man, Francis
Like,
Fred,
man.
That's
man.
because
Like,
this guy, he
yo,
got
Francis-
money, he's chill.
Yeah,
yo,
polite,
it's like,
man.
yo,
I like that, man.
howdy, bro.
respect
That's a cool guy.
Yo,
That's a cool guy.
Yeah, that's that, man.
We'd have to go
Don't be
through the
shy,
body
Dan.
counts
Don't be
again.
shy.
Come on, Dan.
But do you
Come on,
think
Dan,
like
come
that
host.
an ability to pair bond based on society's like
Come on, Dan. Don't let her push you, man. Friends and everything.
I suspect
Get her,
that
Dan.
that there might be like some specific people that the amount just goes down more and more and more, and it might just never really hit 0, and that you're just finding whoever would work out with long term faster. But like, I don't know. I know that it's much harder to actually get married. Yeah. If we want to run through the body counts, I'll give my opinion then. I don't remember everyone's body count.
Real quick, body count.
100 over.
All right, good luck.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Less than 20.
All right, well, yep, there's a chance, probably 30% compared to this like educated guess.
Body count.
Lost count.
Yep. Well,
She's in the hundreds,
Yeah, home, yeah.
hundreds.
good luck.
Body count.
Oh.
I probably lost count, but it has to be 50 and under.
No, it's not. Box, bro. You're 38, bro. You're 38, man.
Apparently, it's possible for her. Good luck with me. Longer story with that, but
Wait, what?
yeah. Well, I gotta rate myself up, rating everyone else,
Okay,
right?
cool. What about her?
32.
That's cat, bro. That's cat, bro.
That's a very particular number.
I literally had a list.
Who?
Yeah, I used to keep count. Yeah.
All right, you know what? Last 5 guys.
Wait, hold on one sec. Did you get robbed at your house? Did you get robbed at your house?
Yeah.
I remember now. See, I remember by the criminal shit. Like, she got set up for a burglary.
You had
Right? That's what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Now I remember who she is.
You had on a jumpsuit. Orange jumpsuit. Was it orange?
FBI, open up! I mean, in my mugshot, probably, yeah.
No. On the show. No.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It was an extra somebody set you up to get robbed.
No. It was
a dude. I know it was a dude.
Yeah, it was a dude who set me up, but he wasn't the next.
That's what, bro.
God damn.
I remember from the criminal shit, man. Like,
Yo,
that's what it was.
Same time Miami.
Yeah,
For the
man.
crime.
And is the one you're pursuing that? Is he like he's like a crook, right? Kind of. No, he's not.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I mean,
somebody was a felon in the picture.
New.
I forget who.
No, but
Either way, that was a good point.
It was the dude I was dealing with at the time when I got robbed.
Ooh.
All right, fair. Okay, I remember now.
I'm surprised you remembered that, Myron.
Because bro, it was such a like, bro, who lines up a girl to get robbed?
That's fucked up, man.
That's what I remember from it.
Yeah.
So anyway, what about you?
I only have 2, but I will say that pair bonding for women is like
when a man gets ED from jacking off too much and watching too much porn, then he can't get hard for his wife. With women having sex with man after man, they can no longer pair bond with their partner. It's the same thing. I like that. Yeah.
Good shit, man.
Good compare. I would say that's a pretty damn good analogy right there.
Wife.
Yeah.
Is there some math or science?
Can we Google that? Can we fact check?
Google.
Yeah, I think she doesn't mean it like in literal terms. Rather, it's like if you have to give a rough functional
it's the same.
Actually, I think I did look this up.
But yeah, you can Google it.
Yeah, like there wasn't correlation between that, but they did say that people tried to say promiscuity of women lessens it, but I think it's just like everyone just the madhouse of dating in today's age. Just nobody's content and everyone wants to date up and they think they could do better. So then they just...
That's a women's problem. That is not a man's problem.
Well,
the wanting to date up and trade up, that's a female
But in the man's
issue.
world, he wants to... Like a lot of men want to have high body count because they want that like...
Yeah, but they're not going to leave their partner for that. What a man will do is like he won't trade his girl up. He'll just keep her and fuck other girls on the side. But men don't trade up like women do. You guys trade up. We don't. We just trade alongside. You know what I'm saying? You got your favorite Pokemon card and you'll trade the other ones. But like with men, it's like they want the variety, but they want their main girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how men operate.
Yeah.
It's the women that trade up. Men don't break relationships up. That's why I was kind of laughing when y'all were asking her, what are you going to do if your man leaves you or you get divorced or whatever? Bro, guys don't leave marriages, bro.
Facts.
20.
And if it goes longer, for sure.
Men only initiate 20% of divorces in America.
Yeah.
Women initiate the 80%. So, all right. Can you ever fully rebuild trust once it's been broken? From the male side, no. Once your girl breaks your trust, it's over.
Yeah, facts.
You can't because the problem is that with women, you guys are far more precious. So therefore, since you're more precious, it's easy to break it. It's like glass, right? You know, I always say like trust with your female. Like if you shatter glass, right, and then you tape it up and try to glue it back up, you could tape it up and everything and put it back together. But when you pour water in it, it's always going to leak.
Yeah, that's
kind of how it is with women. So yeah, let's see here. Your partner gave you 150 for a lotto ticket and you hit for 100 million. How much would you break them off? Give him at least 10%. So he'll get what? That's 15 million. No one. Yeah, at least he'd get 10 million. Yeah, I'd give him 10%. I think that's fair. Gave you a lotto ticket. He gave you the money for the lotto ticket, bro. That's the best you could do. 10%. Goddamn.
Like relationship or like just like a friend?
Nah, it's just a random question. Like your friend. I think it's more to judge like how you treat your friend.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, they give you 150 for a lotto ticket and you hit 100 million. I mean, I don't gamble, but if I did, I'd give him 10% for sure, bare minimum. Why do you not believe in monogamy? I don't believe in it because I don't think it's realistic for men. Honestly, are there some guys out there that can be monogamous? For sure, but I think men are only as faithful as their options, and the reality is most men are going to want to have multiple women. So I'd rather be honest with women and tell them that I'm not going to just have you. No way.
Savannah, that was your question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, that's me personally. Now, I do think if you find like a super traditional conservative guy that's like Christian, and he's really devout in his religion, I think that will keep him monogamous. But he would have to want it for himself and be really, fear God. But most guys are going to not be monogamous.
So you believe in the nuclear family, bringing the nuclear family. 100%. But that would not be having multiple women.
I would have multiple families.
Ooh.
So that's nuclear families.
Families, yeah. That's what I would do.
But kids with like multiple moms is not necessarily a nuclear family.
Yeah, I mean it would be multiple nuclear families, but that's how I would.
But it's not a multiple nuclear family because you have multiple women with multiple kids.
Yes, so it would be multiple families. I mean, depends on how you want to look at it. Like if you want to look at the original, maybe the traditional conservative Christian family unit, then no, then it wouldn't be conventional. But I'm speaking more from, I was raised in a Muslim family.
Islamic.
So for us, polygamy is a thing. I'm not devout or anything, but I've always obviously agreed with the faith, and I think that solves a lot of the world's problems. But no, from a traditional Christian sense, no, you wouldn't be conventional. But I would do it where I would want them all living under one house if I could do it. I'd have my wives be friends and shit.
You sure?
So that's not a nuclear family.
I said it. I just told you it wouldn't be traditional. No, it would not be. Depends on how you look at it. Like in the Muslim world, that would be considered a traditional family by those standards, but in the Christian world, no, it would not be.
Can we look up the definition of nuclear family? Wouldn't that be just mom, dad, kids, and no other spouses involved?
Sure. I mean, like I said, it might not be traditional according to Christian, American, Western standards, but in the Muslim world, it's definitely a thing.
I'm just curious why you tell women they can't cheat, but then men.
Because men are far
wives.
because men are far different than women.
Yeah, there's a primal nature of you guys to go around and have kids with everybody.
Yeah, and the thing is that when it comes to men, so the check and balances on it is that men, you can have multiple wives, but you have to be able to provide for each one equally. That'd be the check and balances. So you have to have the status and the ability to do it to be able to do it. It's a check and balance. So it ensures that like if you're a loser or you don't have your money together, they're not like just having one wife that you're taking care of and then another one is like living destitute. So that's like a check and balance on it. Now understand it conflicts with Christian values. I don't know where you grew up, Protestant, Catholic, Christian, non-denominational. Okay, so yeah, in the Christian faith, it's frowned upon. You can't do it, but it's not that way in the Muslim world or in the Arab world.
So, do you want multiple wives, or do you see yourself being?
Yeah, I would have at least 2 or 3 probably.
What's the purpose?
Well, you can have more kids that way. It helps with obviously not getting bored because with women, men want variety. You get tired of women, to be honest with you, over a period of time because I don't think men and women have similar interests. So that's what I would probably do it for.
I mean, I think that's a battle of the flesh. That there's a certain discipline when you get into a marriage and you sign that contract that it's like,
yeah, I mean, 100% in a Christian marriage,
devoted
sure.
to you.
In a Christian marriage, sure.
No, in a nuclear family, if we're talking about traditional values,
by your conventional Western standards, yes, that would be the nuclear family. Now, like I said before, I think the nuclear family is the backbone of any society, right? Having woman, man, and children. But again, me having multiple wives, I'd still obviously be a father. I don't think the man needs to be there every day. I think a man's job is to be there, as a provider. Obviously, you're there as a disciplinarian. But plenty of sound families come up where the father's not home all the time because he's working. Like my dad, for example, he wasn't there often. I'd see him maybe once a week. So I think the father's job kind of comes in more. Well, obviously you got to provide, and then also you got to come in as a disciplinarian, especially when your kids are turning into teenagers and stuff. I think that's when the father shines the most. But yeah, I would definitely, I wouldn't want just one woman. And again, when it comes to monogamy, men are just not naturally monogamous.
Question for you. You made a very good point talking about the Christian nuclear family because that is very true. But question for you based off of that question. If you're married to your husband and he cheats on you, how would you react? Would you leave or would you stay?
I would divorce.
So
I'm a Bible believing Christian. I know.
One more thing. So his pretense or his setup is based off of the Islamic religion. No,
correct.
I'm more Christian believing, even though I'm not a good. I'm not okay. So just keeping it real, I'm not a good Christian right now. I'm terrible. But if I'm going off of the faith,
100%. If
you divorce off of that alone, is that a precedent to do it?
Based on what the Bible says, yes. There is if a partner cheats on you, you have grounds to leave that marriage. That is the only circumstance that the Bible mentions on which you can leave a marriage.
So in his way of life for the Islamic religion, they say, okay, to kind of combat that, you can have multiple families. You know what I'm saying? So for him, I understand what he's saying because off of his religion, that's okay. But for us as Christians, I'm not really a good Christian, but like off of the religion itself, it's not kind of like acceptable. So that's the reason why he goes with it because of his backing.
Which I understand that, and I knew that coming in, but I was just curious why, if we're trying to rebuild the nuclear family.
Okay, understandable.
I actually have a question for you and Myron.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm thinking is like, okay, well, we can agree that promiscuity is bad and all these things, but what I'm wondering is like, how do you see this playing out so that people become less and less promiscuous as a society? Because that's like the biggest thing. It just seems we're so far gone.
Mm-hmm.
How do you actually like roll it back to traditional values?
Very good question, bro. Keeping it real, I don't see it going back to traditional values at all. I think it's too far gone, and when you go past that pendulum point where it's too far gone, you can't really back in. So all you can do is save who wants to be saved. So for example, we can tell people the reality of what's happening in the world about dating, how many women have many options. Social media has been a part of this whole swing of the pendulum, and it's so far gone that like I think nowadays, especially with dating, it's more of a okay, who is a better option for me rather than who's a better partner. So that precedent by itself of social media kind of blows it up even more. So would I ever go back? I don't think so. But maybe religion or maybe like people that want to be saved can listen to what a good person is saying to kind of stop that by getting married. But again, it's back to options and what people actually want to have as, a better option versus a partner. That's what I think.
Sure. What is does Myron? Well, he didn't hear
The question was with the monogamy again, or what was it?
You want to tell him again?
So the question is like, okay, we can all pretty much agree. Well, we don't all agree, but close enough that promiscuity is bad, and that theoretically we should have, get married and have wives or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. But we're, so how would this actually happen so that things could roll back to traditional values where there's this discipline of the old times? And
I could definitely answer this. It's never going back, unfortunately. And the reason why it's never going back is because we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace, right? Where what's basically happened is, assuming age of consent is met, basically anyone can hook up with anyone. And what ends up happening when you're in these types of situations is the top tier men have all the leverage, and then the majority of women. And when women are in the, basically in the buyer's seat, what ends up happening is they want to get the best man that they can get. And women didn't fight through feminism for 60, 70 years to, no offense, like be housewives. Like a lot of them want to be independent and strong, as you can see the majority here. And that's kind of what we have now, where there's a majority of feminism and less women want to accept traditional values. Now, for some that are there, that's awesome. But the problem is that I just don't foresee women conceding all the ground that they've taken thanks to feminism and go back to the kitchens, go back to a man running the household. Like they like these things in theory, but most women are not willing to do what's required to actually be a wife, which is the problem. So I just don't see it going backwards, unfortunately. I think if anything, it's going to continue to get worse. And actually, there was a study that done not too long ago with women in their 30s being in relationships or whatever. We actually are outpacing what we anticipated with single women.
Okay, I have some things to add to that, by the way.
Yeah.
One thing I'll add is you're from the Midwest, right?
No.
Where are you from?
North Florida.
Excuse me, I'm wrong.
Tallahassee.
Okay.
Sarasota.
Well, one thing is that there's multiple dating cultures that aren't yet fully corrupted. I thought that the Midwest was a bit more traditional, but I might be mistaken on that. I haven't really been to the Midwest.
No, it is.
Oh,
it is. The Bible Belt and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
More so.
Like Eastern Europe tends to be a bit more on the traditional side. A lot of parts of Europe. I mean, India is like very extreme with how they do things. They're even more extreme than Christianity. Like you just like straight up get married. It's all arranged marriages, and somehow that works. The dating market's a bit healthier in certain parts of South America, to my knowledge, but I'm not like an expert. There's this guy, you guys must have heard of J.D. Unwin, right? J.D. Unwin, you never heard of this guy, really?
No.
Really? Okay. Well, this dude was I guess he was a sociologist, anthropologist, and he conducted a study on, I believe, 80 different cultures. I read the summary of his book, but not the full book. But basically, he concluded that promiscuity of all kinds. This is all like in theory. I'm like, I can't say that I followed this myself. I've been promiscuous, but he said that promiscuity essentially ruins all cultures after 3 generations, which following the baby boom is about where we're at in American society. He said that the only solution was in fact to have strict monogamy, and that was optimal for society on a whole, according to his study of all these different cultures. That's all like in theory and according to his study of history. I guess the idea is that like that's overall best for productivity. And
no, that's true. Monogamy absolutely stabilizes society, and this is why a lot of countries in the Middle East are unstable, because of the polygamy, where the higher status men have the women, and when one guy or a minority of the men have a majority of the women, a lot of the guys end up without partners. They don't have partners. Obviously this is why so many guys are in the Middle East violent. So no, it absolutely does. It's a big reason why the United States is actually so wealthy, is because of enforced monogamy, being a Christian white country first, and then obviously the manufacturing trade. Obviously World War I, World War II, etc. So no, it definitely does help. I think my thing is, when it comes to monogamy, right? Most men are not going to be monogamous, and I do think that if a man reaches a certain level of success, they're just naturally not going to be monogamous. And I think if you're honest about that, and you have multiple girlfriends or multiple wives, and you're honest about it, I think that's the best way to do it, because most guys are going to do what they do and just lie about it. So I think being honest about it, and at least letting your girlfriend have the decision versus lying to her is the best way to go. And then obviously, I'm not a devout Muslim now, but that's what I would want, where I would want at least 2 to 3 families. I wouldn't just want one. So.
Yeah, I think it's extremely hard to be disciplined in that kind of way, especially with sexually hypersexual society. Like it would have to be like a gradual process back.
Yeah, and again, this is something, like I said, this is why I said the leverage is only with the top percentage of guys and then a majority of the women, because the problem is that average guys are just invisible to most women, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's going to be hard fix.
Yeah, but does that answer your question about the monogamy thing, though?
I mean,
I know you don't agree with it,
I
but
knew
that's-
that was your background.
Okay.
So that's why I asked.
All right.
I don't agree with it, but
Sure.
we agree to disagree.
That's fine. I mean, and I obviously, your backing is from a religious standpoint, so you're not going to agree.
Two different worlds.
Yeah, it's.
Sorry, what?
No, go ahead, bro. I'm done.
Last thoughts.
Oh yeah, last.